Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about Deshaun Watson and the latest trade rumors regarding him, the Houston Texans, and the Carolina Panthers. This is kind of a crazy one, so get ready for a wild video. Before we hop into the content, if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and like the video if you guys do enjoy it. I'm going to be coming out with all sorts of content all off season long about the NFL. So if you don't want to miss any of that, subscribe and stick around on the channel. And with all that being said, let's hop into this crazy trade talk. It's been about 2 months since the Deshaun Watson saga has started for the Houston Texans, and the situation has only found itself getting worse and worse over the past couple of months. From just a couple years ago when the Texans were up 24-0 against the Chiefs in the divisional round, the Texans find themselves without potentially all of their best players from that season. They traded DeAndre Hopkins the year after that, JJ Watt just got released, and their star quarterback Deshaun Watson is on his way out. How could a team that showed so much promise evaporate so quickly? That's a question that many in the NFL have been asking for the Texans, is how did this happen? They had multiple stars on defense, they had a top 5 quarterback in the league, and they're about to lose it all in only 1 year. The Texans have gone from one of the most desirable places to play and coach to one of the laughingstocks of the entire NFL. This obliteration of the Houston Texans and their organization and team falls solely on the shoulders of Cal McNair and his management of the team. Despite all the mistakes that the ownership of the Texans have made the past couple of seasons, like promoting Bill O'Brien to general manager and letting him trade away all of their players, none of those things made Deshaun Watson mad enough to want out of Houston. It wasn't until this offseason when Deshaun Watson just asked to be considered for his thoughts and his opinions on the next coach and general manager of the team. As a top 5 quarterback in the league, Watson believes his opinion and his approach to the game can help the Texans build a proper organization and team around him, and the Texans weren't interested in hearing what he had to say. Watson stated many times that he wanted Eric Bieniemy to be interviewed, he wanted Robert Saleh to be interviewed, and the Texans never took any of those things seriously. He mentioned Louis Riddick for a general manager position. He wasn't even considered one bit. Watson didn't go to management saying, I want these guys or I want out. He just wanted to be heard and respected for his belief on the team and what they could do to make it better. And the ownership couldn't even give Watson that much respect to value what he had to say. And that signal of disrespect is the reason why Deshaun Watson is wanting out of Houston right now more than anything else in the world. It wasn't trading away his best friend DeAndre Hopkins. It wasn't trading their future away for Laramie Tunsil. It was the fact that they don't respect him as a player and they don't respect his career enough to even hear out what he has to say. So now as Watson tries to navigate through what he's going to do to get his way out of Houston, the Texans have to decide, do we trade him now and get the most value we can for him, or do we try to hold on to him now and face the consequences? For the 2021 season, it's more than likely that the NFL draft will be the deadline for the Deshaun Watson trade. If they don't trade him before the draft, it would be one of the most pointless trades in NFL history. If you're going to trade him this year, you definitely want picks in this upcoming draft to make sure your team is on a faster route to improve and get better and rebuild. If they traded Watson after the draft, the value of Watson depreciates by a lot. Multiple teams that need quarterbacks are going to be able to go through free agency and the draft to fix their needs, and that's going to lower the amount of teams that are going to be bidding on the star quarterback. Watson's in a tough situation because as it's the offseason, there's not much he can do to show the Texans his discomfort, such as not showing up to practice, not playing in the games. He's not able to do any of that because the season is not going on right now. So the only thing Watson can do is ignore their calls, not be around the facility, and just stay distant from the team. Will that be good enough to convince the Texans that he needs to be traded? We'll have to wait and see. Many people have reported the Texans and Watson's relationship is beyond fixable, and that there's no turning back at this point. They've lost Watson, and if he has to do the extreme and retire, he will do that. This offseason has already been filled with tons of Deshaun Watson trade rumors, and there's been more details recently coming out about the Panthers potentially acquiring the star quarterback. The Panthers were extremely aggressive in trying to acquire Matthew Stafford earlier this offseason, but they cannot outbid the Rams, who gave up Jared Goff and 2 first-round picks for the quarterback. But it shows the mindset of the Panthers really wanting to get a new quarterback in there instead of Teddy Bridgewater. We're going to see if they're going to be able to make that happen with Deshaun Watson. I think the Panthers are the favorites right now, and I think they're actually going to land Watson. Of course, there's some other teams that might have more to offer, such as the Jets or the Dolphins, but I do not think the Miami Dolphins will be wanting to trade for Watson at this point in time, and I really think the Texans will consider trading Watson to another conference instead of having to play him in the playoffs and have him haunt down on their franchise. Although the Panthers might not be able to give as much as the Jets, I think they're still going to be able to give a reasonable amount. With the added factor that they're in a different conference than the Texans, I think that also helps them out. And Deshaun Watson has already said that he would agree to play in Carolina. It's very close to where he grew up and played in college for Clemson, and it seems like a good situation for him to go to and continue to build on the success that he's had in his early career. Peter King recently reported a trade that would be likely to happen if the Panthers did acquire Deshaun Watson. He said the deal would include Christian McCaffrey, Teddy Bridgewater, Robbie Anderson, 2 first-round picks, a second-round pick, and a third-round pick. In Good Morning Football's Peter Schrager suggested that even Brian Burns could be included in the deal. Both of those deals would single-handedly be one of the biggest trades in NFL history, and I think the Texans would be a little bit crazy to pass up on that. If and when the Texans start fielding trades for Deshaun Watson, I guarantee the Panthers will be one of the first teams in line inquiring about the quarterback. That trade sounds absolutely crazy, but I think it's a realistic option for the Panthers, who have been very, very aggressive with trying to find another quarterback to replace Teddy Bridgewater. Their fans really clinged on to Cam Newton in his MVP season, and ever since then they've been really looking forward to another quarterback to reach that success. And I think the owner is starting to get a little impatient, and he's wanting to get another star quarterback to speed up the rebuilding process down there in Carolina. Some may argue that the Panthers trading this much stuff may just equal what team Watson was playing with last year with the Texans, but I still think the Panthers organization will be way more considerate of Watson and his opinions and feelings. And of course, they already have DJ Moore, some pieces on the O-line, and some young starters on the defense such as Jeremy Chin and Derek Brown. Although they may not have some draft picks to build for the future, they already have some good studs on their defense and offensive line. And as we've seen from multiple teams, you don't always need the draft to build your team up. It just takes good salary cap maneuvering and the ability to find hidden gems late in the draft. The Panthers may not be good right away if they got Deshaun Watson on their team, but I think they have a way better shot of building around Watson than the Texans do at this stage. And I think a fan base who's been really hungry for success and for a Super Bowl win would definitely take Watson under their arms and be a great place for Watson to play. If the Panthers made this trade, they'd definitely be able to use one of their later draft picks on a receiver. This is a very deep receiver class, and they'd definitely be able to find one that can fit the skill set of Deshaun Watson. They may even be interested in re-signing Curtis Samuels. He's a dynamic playmaker, and he'll be great with Deshaun Watson. Joe Brady is one of the youngest and brightest minds in all of football, and him dueling up with Deshaun Watson would be absolutely scary. We've seen what Joe Brady can do with young quarterbacks who have a lot of talent, such as Joe Burrow at LSU, and even last year with Teddy Bridgewater. Although the Panthers didn't reach the heights of success that they wanted to, they still had a solid season for the team that they had built. One of the first years of a rebuild. Joe Brady would definitely be able to put Deshaun Watson in the best situations, and I think his system would fit great with Deshaun. I think with Joe Brady and Deshaun Watson teaming up and DJ Moore out wide with maybe another receiver that they can get in the draft, Panthers will definitely be looking at a top 10 offense, no doubt in my mind. We saw the sneaky potential of Mike Davis last year when Christian McCaffrey was out. Panthers would definitely be interested in bringing him back if they had to get rid of McCaffrey for Watson. If you had an offense of Deshaun Watson, DJ Moore, a rookie wide receiver, and Mike Davis with Joe Brady calling plays, I think you have a solid offense. The Panthers offensive line is definitely better than the Texans at this point. Panthers defense was middle of the pack last season, and they had a lot of young defensive starters. Every single one of the draft picks in the 2020 NFL draft was on defense, and a lot of those players were starters for them last year, and they still managed to be, middle of the pack on defense. Another year of them progressing and developing with Matt Rule. I can definitely see their defense taking a jump into the top half of the league and being one of the better up-and-coming defenses. The NFC South as a division is pretty much wide open outside of the Bucks. We don't know what's up with the Saints and their quarterback situation. We don't know if Breeze is going to be coming back or if Winston's going to be starting next year. We don't really know what's going on with the Falcons. They've had a couple bad seasons in a row now. Matt Ryan is getting up there in age. There's talks of Julio getting traded, so we don't really know what's going on with that division. I think the Panthers could definitely finish second in that division with Watson and the talent they have on their team already, and that might be able to propel them into the playoffs and get one of those wild cards. I don't think they have enough talent on their team at the moment to overthrow the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as the division leaders, but I definitely think they have the ability to get into the wild card and potentially win a playoff game. If the Panthers did pull this trade off for Deshaun Watson, I definitely think they'd be favored to make the playoffs and potentially win 1 or 2 games in there. Deshaun Watson is a transcendent player, and he's proven that year in and year out in his NFL career. Coming off a career year of 70% completion percentage, 4,800 yards, 33 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions with 112 quarterback rating, throwing to Brandon Cooks, Randall Cobb as your receivers, with a subpar offensive line and no running game whatsoever. That's pretty tremendous of a quarterback to do that right there. And Watson on a new team is going to be hungry, and I think he's going to be able to put up better stats than that. If Watson goes to another team this season, I definitely think he's going to be in the running for an MVP. He's going to be wanting to prove all the haters wrong, all the people that doubted him for wanting to leave the Texans and salvage his career, and he's going to be a man on the mission, and I think that's going to be him on the Carolina Panthers this upcoming season. I personally do not see Watson playing another game for the Texans. It's just a matter of time, when and where he's going to get traded. I think with all the factors put in place, I think the Panthers have the best offer to give. Be on the lookout for a Deshaun Watson trade coming soon in the next coming month. The draft is here at the end of April, so the Texans have about a month and a half to find out where Watson's going to get traded and what compensation they can get back for him. So buckle up and be ready. And Panthers fans, you guys may just get yourself a new top 5 quarterback in this league. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys today. If you guys are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and slap a like on the video. And thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think of Watson and where he should end up. And that's all I got for you guys today. I'm out. See you guys next time.